Hello, welcome back once again. Today we're going to talk about a feeling that, at first glance, seems simple, but in practice is one of the hardest to cultivate in its truest form: gratitude. Not the surface-level gratitude we express out of politeness or habit, but a gratitude that arises from a completely different place. A place where there is no comparison. No, I'm luckier than so-and-so. No relief in noticing that someone else is suffering more than we are. Today's idea says, love is the way I walk in gratitude. Notice how these two words appear together: love and gratitude. They are not separate concepts. One feeds the other, and it's almost impossible to fully experience one without the presence of the other. Today we'll understand why this happens, and how we can transform gratitude from an occasional emotion tied to specific facts into a constant way of walking through life. Start by observing how we normally relate to gratitude in daily life. Often it shows up conditionally. I'm grateful because things worked out, because I escaped a problem, because I have a home while others don't, because my health is fine while I see someone else sick. This kind of gratitude, however natural it may seem, carries a quiet trap. It rests on comparison, and deep down, it separates us from others instead of uniting us with them. Because to feel grateful this way, we need, in some manner, to perceive someone else in a worse condition than our own. Today's lesson invites us to step completely outside that logic. It shows us that true gratitude doesn't depend on being better off than anyone. It arises from another place entirely, from the recognition that we have been freed from something far deeper than any external circumstance. Freed from the illusion that we are alone, separate, left to our own devices in a hostile world. That, according to the Course, is the one thing that truly deserves our full gratitude. And because this freedom is available to everyone, without exception, true gratitude never compares. It simply recognizes. Let's understand this distinction more deeply. Think about how we normally react to other people's suffering. There's a subtle temptation, almost automatic, to feel relieved when we notice that someone else's difficulty is greater than our own. At least it's not me. It could be worse. Look how much harder that person has it than I do. These thoughts seem harmless, even seem to bring a certain temporary comfort, but they actually reveal a distorted perception of reality. The idea that there's a limited amount of suffering and peace in the world, and that if someone has more pain, there's less left for us. But this logic doesn't sustain the kind of gratitude that truly heals. It's based on separation, on me versus the other, on winners and losers within a game of suffering. And as long as we operate inside that logic, we remain trapped by it. Because today, we might be the ones with more luck, but tomorrow we could be on the other side. And then that conditional gratitude vanishes right along with the circumstance that supported it. Today's invitation is to recognize that there is a gratitude that doesn't depend on any circumstance at all. A gratitude directed toward something greater, toward a force continuously working to dissolve every cause of sorrow in the world, not just your specific suffering, but the very root of pain, everywhere and in everyone. When we recognize this force at work, gratitude stops being about, my situation is better than someone else's, and becomes about, there is a care extending to all of us, without exception. This completely changes the way we see the people around us, including, and especially, the ones we find hardest to be around. Think of someone you consider, today, a real challenge in your life. Someone who irritates you, who seems to compete with you, who somehow seems to get in the way of your peace or your path. It's easy in these cases to see that person almost as a threat, as if they were there to take something from you, your calm, your joy, your space. When we see someone this way, we internally create a sense of rivalry, as if only one of us could truly be at peace. But this perception, however real it may feel in the heat of the moment, is a distortion. And this is exactly where the practice of gratitude without comparison becomes transformative. Because once we understand that the freedom we're seeking isn't a limited prize, that there isn't a fixed amount of peace available that must be fought over, we stop needing the other person to lose in order for us to win. One person's peace never diminishes the peace available to another. On the contrary, the more people find that place of inner rest, the easier it becomes for everyone else to find it too. This brings us to an essential point of today's lesson. True gratitude never separates. It always includes. It recognizes that we are united with everything that exists, and that precisely because of this, when we give thanks for everything, not just for our own favorable situation, but for the possibility of freedom extending to every single person. This includes those who suffer, those who feel lost, those walking a path of anger or despair. They are not separate from us. They walk with us, even when they seem very far from where we'd wish them to be. Let's bring this into a more concrete, practical example. Imagine you're going through a difficult day, maybe a financial worry, maybe a health issue, maybe a conflict in an important relationship. It's natural in that moment to seek comfort by comparing your situation to other people's. At least it's not as serious as what so-and-so is facing, or some people have it much worse than I do. This kind of thought might bring a small, passing relief, but it doesn't build lasting peace, because it keeps placing your calm within a scale of comparison. And scales of comparison can always turn against you at some other moment. Today's practice offers a different path. Instead of comparing your difficulty to someone else's, try pausing and recognizing, sincerely, there is something beyond me, caring for every cause of suffering in my life and in everyone's. This recognition doesn't minimize your pain, nor pretend it doesn't exist. It simply places that pain within a wider context. You are not alone carrying this weight, and no one else is carrying theirs alone either. There is a greater care present everywhere, continually working, so that all of this pain will, in its own time, be dissolved. This is the kind of gratitude today's lesson invites us to cultivate. Not gratitude for being better off than, but gratitude for being part of something that never leaves anyone out. You can apply this quite simply throughout your day. Whenever you notice, in yourself, that automatic impulse to compare yourself with someone else, whether to feel superior or to feel inferior, pause briefly. Instead of continuing the comparison, repeat, inwardly, love is the way I walk in gratitude. Let this phrase interrupt the movement of comparison and bring you back to the simple recognition that you, and the person you were comparing yourself to, are in exactly the same place, equally deserving of the same care, the same freedom, the same love. This practice can also be applied very concretely in your closest relationships. Think of someone with whom you have a somewhat rivalrous relationship, or someone toward whom you feel a pang of envy, or someone with whom you feel, in some way, that you're competing for space, recognition, or affection. Instead of feeding that feeling with more comparison, try consciously being grateful for that person's freedom, exactly as you wish for your own. You might even say inwardly, I wish for you the same peace I wish for myself. There is no competition between us. This simple internal gesture has enormous power to dissolve the tension we normally carry in silence. It's worth pausing here to reflect on something important. Why is it so hard for most of us to feel gratitude without comparison? A large part of the answer lies in how we've been conditioned to think about scarcity. From a very young age, we learn, directly or indirectly, that resources are limited, Love, attention, success, recognition, even happiness seem, at first glance, available only in finite amounts. If that belief were true, it would make sense for gratitude to become a kind of accounting. I have more than the other person, so I should be satisfied. But this belief, however widespread, simply doesn't reflect the deeper nature of what truly matters. Peace, love, and inner freedom don't work like limited material goods. They expand exactly when they're shared and never diminish when someone else experiences them too. Once you begin to see it this way, the need to compare simply loses its meaning. There's no longer any reason to calculate who's better off or worse off, because the one thing that truly matters, freedom from all suffering, is equally available to every person, at all times, without exception. This brings us to another important aspect of today's lesson. Forgiveness and gratitude walk hand in hand. You've probably noticed at some point on your journey that it's practically impossible to feel genuine gratitude towards someone while still holding resentment against that same person. Resentment closes the door. Gratitude opens it. And here's something interesting. When you forgive completely, without making exceptions, without separating this I forgive, that I don't, the gratitude that naturally arises is far broader than the conditional gratitude we mentioned earlier. It becomes gratitude for everything, precisely because you've stopped dividing the world into what deserves your forgiveness and what doesn't. You may have already experienced this. That moment when, after finally releasing an old hurt, something in you opens up, and a sense of lightness arises that goes far beyond the specific situation you forgave. It's almost as if, by forgiving one thing completely, you gain access to a greater capacity to feel grateful for everything else in your life too. That's exactly the mechanism today's lesson describes. Complete gratitude is only possible when forgiveness is also complete. When we stop keeping some things locked away as unforgivable while releasing others. Now, think about what it would be like to live with this gratitude as the constant backdrop of your experience, rather than an occasional feeling tied only to favorable circumstances. Imagine waking up in the morning and, instead of judging the day by how many good or bad things happened, simply recognizing there is a care present in every instant, watching over me and everyone around me, regardless of what the surface of events seems to show. This foundational gratitude doesn't depend on good outcomes. It comes before outcomes. It arises from the certainty that we are all being led back to a state of peace that never stopped belonging to us. This is the kind of gratitude that, according to the lesson, dramatically accelerates our path. Not because we deserve more for being grateful, but because gratitude aligns us directly with love, and wherever one is found, the other is necessarily present too. You can think of it as two sides of the same coin. It's impossible to fully separate love from gratitude, because genuine gratitude is, in itself, an expression of love. Before we close, here's a final invitation for reflection. Notice today how often your gratitude shows up tied to some comparison, even a subtle one. You might catch this in simple everyday thoughts, watching difficult news, talking with someone going through a hard time, remembering a harder chapter of your own life. Whenever you notice this pattern of comparison arising, use it as a gentle reminder to practice today's phrase. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. Let it guide your mind back to a place where gratitude doesn't depend on being better off than anyone, but simply on recognizing that there is an unconditional care extending to every person, including you. Over time, this form of gratitude stops being an occasional exercise and truly becomes a way, the way you walk through life, rather than just a reaction to good things happening. And that is exactly what today's lesson invites us to experience, to walk in love and let gratitude be the natural reflection of that walk. Thank you so much. See you in the next lesson.